Hello, my dear friends. Hello, everyone. So today we see you again here and continue to learn Earth Store Sutra. So now we're talking about the praises of King Yama and his retinue. This is chapter 8. At that moment, from within the iron-enclosed mountains, King Yama and countless ghost kings all arrived at the Trimsa heaven and came to where the Buddha was. The ghost kings all arrived. They were evil poison ghost king, many evils ghost king, great quarrels ghost king, white tiger ghost king, blood tiger ghost king, red tiger ghost king, disaster disseminating ghost king, flying body ghost king, lightning flash ghost king, wolf teeth ghost king, thousand eyes ghost king, beast devouring ghost king, rock carrying ghost king of depletion, ghost king of calamities, ghost king of food, ghost king of wealth, ghost king of domestic animals, ghost king of birds, ghost king of beasts, ghost king of monstrous creatures, ghost king of birth, ghost king of life, ghost king of illnesses, ghost king of danger, 3 eyes ghost king, 4 eyes ghost king, 5 eyes ghost king, chistless king, great chistless king, Chiliksa king, great Chiliksa king, Anato king, great Anato king. There were great ghost kings such as these, each with hundreds of thousands of minor ghost kings. They all have their own duties to carry out and preside over. Through the awesome supernormal power of the Buddha and the power of Earth Store Bodhisattva Mahasattva, King Yama and the ghost kings all came to the Trimsa heaven and stood to one side with respect. At that time, King Yama, so ghost kings are different from King Yama. King Yama's level is like the highest leader in the ghost world. So King Yama knelt with palms joined and said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, it is through the awesome supernormal power of the Buddha and the power of Earth Store Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the ghost kings and I are now able to come to this great assembly in the Trimsa heaven. We can therefore gain virtuous benefits too. Now, there's a little question that I dare to ask the world-honored one. World-honored one, with your kindness and compassion, please expound on it," the Buddha told King Yama. "Ask whatever you wish. I will explain it to you." So at that time, King Yama paid reverence to the world-honored one, turned to behold Earth Store Bodhisattva, and then said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, I observe that Earth Store Bodhisattva uses hundreds of thousands of skillful means in the 6 realms of existence to guide wrongdoing suffering beings across to liberation, and he persists tirelessly. This is only possible because of this great Bodhisattva's inconceivable supernormal power. Yet, multitude of beings will fall into the evil realms again soon after their release from the karmic effect of wrongdoings. Since Earth Store Bodhisattva has such inconceivable supernormal power, why do the sentient beings not take refuge in the virtuous path and attain eternal liberation? World-honored one, please compassionately explain this to me," the Buddha told King Yama. "Sentient beings of the earth because of their past karmic connections and reasons. They have a lot of bad natures and difficult to regulate and difficult to tame. Earth Store Bodhisattva has rescued such beings through hundreds of thousands of eons, many times, helping them to attain liberation early. For people who undergo the karmic effects of wrongdoing, even those who have fallen into the very evil realms like the hell, Earth Store Bodhisattva used the power of skillful means to extract their fundamental karmic conditions and lead them to realize the events of their previous lives. However, sentient beings have really severe bad habits of forming evil. They come in and out of the hell. As soon as they leave the evil realms, they fall back in again, thus requiring Earth Store Bodhisattva to work hard throughout many eons in guiding them across to liberation. It's just like someone who lost his way home and by mistake entered a dangerous path in which there were many dangerous creatures like yakshas, ghosts, monstrous creatures, poisonous worms. And such a lost person on that dangerous path would be harmed and poisoned within a short time. Luckily, at that time, there was a virtuous friend who, so this is someone who's knowledgeable of many, great skills and dharma power and good at stopping and keeping out the injurious and poisonous and are able to deal with the yakshas and those evil, fierce beings. And so the lost traveler happened to meet this virtuous friend. And so the virtuous friend says, "Hey, fellow, why are you entering this road? This is very dangerous. What special means do you have to deal with these evil, fierce beings and monstrous creatures?" Upon hearing these words, the lost traveler suddenly realized that this is a dangerous path and begged for the virtuous friend to lead him out of the dangerous path. So the virtuous friend took him by the hand and led him off the dangerous path to the right path. And the virtuous friend also told the lost traveler, in the future, never walk on this path again. Those who enter it will have difficulty getting out, and moreover, they will suffer harm to their lives. The lost traveler realized how dangerous that path was and became extremely grateful. As they were about to part, the virtuous friend said, "If you see, your relatives, friends, as well as other travelers, men or women, tell them that this dangerous paths there are many poisons and evils and can cause them to lose their life. So do not allow them to unintentionally bring about their own death." So now Buddha come to the Trastrimsa heaven and talk to the King Yama. He said, "Earth Store Bodhisattva, full of great kindness and compassion, rescues wrongdoing suffering beings and enables them to reborn among humans and heavenly beings, so that they can experience wondrous joy. These wrongdoing beings will realize how agonizing the suffering in the evil realms are, and after they obtain release, they would never go on these paths again." Just like a lost traveler who by mistake entered the dangerous paths and having met a virtuous friend who led him out would never enter it again. Whenever he would come upon others, he would advise them not to enter that path. He would say about his experience, "Oh, I took that path before when I was confused," and tell this story and how he was gained liberation and would not enter that path again. If anyone who still enter into the dangerous path because they don't know if they fell into the evil realm again, Earth Store Bodhisattva will still use all kinds of skillful means to rescue them so that they can gain rebirth among humans and heavenly beings. But shortly after, you see, they just be released out of the evil realm, but they fall into the evil realms again. What a pity. What's happening here? And if they commit severe offense with heavy karmic effects, they will remain in the hells forever without a time of release. At this time, when after Buddha said that there's a ghost king called Evil Poison Ghost King joined his palm in respect and said to the Buddha, "World honored one, there's a countless number of ghost kings. On earth, some ghost kings are helping others and some are harming others because of our past karmic effects. So the ghost king family, when we travel the world, we do more bad deeds and few virtuous deeds. So ghosts are like that. Yeah, more bad deeds than virtuous deeds. However, when we pass through people's homes, cities, villages, manors, or houses, whenever we see someone cultivate virtuous deeds as minute as hair fibers, who hang a banner or a canopy, or they offer a little incense or a few flowers to the images of Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, or who recite Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, or burn incense as an offering to even a sentence or a verse in the Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, all of us ghost kings will respect and revere such people just as we do for the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. Wow, it's like that. So we command our subordinate ghosts and as well as all the earth deities to protect them. We will prevent evil events, sudden calamities, severe illnesses, sudden illnesses, as well as any undesirable events to come near their houses and places, much less enter the doors. So Buddha praised the ghost king. Excellent, excellent. All you ghost kings and King Yama, you can support these kind men and kind women in this way. I will tell Brahma and Chakra to protect all of you as well. So these ghost kings will protect kind men and women who do even a tiny bit of virtuous deeds, even just a tiny bit of kind offerings. The ghost kings will respect them as the same way as they respect Buddhas. Well, you don't know this secret, right? And so Buddha said, since you're so compassionate, I'm going to give you even more benefit. I'll ask the Chakra and Brahmins to protect all of you ghost kings in King Yama. And so as these words were spoken, a ghost king in the assembly named Ghost King of Life. So this is not an ordinary ghost king, and very respectfully said to the Buddha, world honored one, in accordance with my fundamental karmic conditions, I preside over a human's life on earth, both the birth and the death. So now you know who is in charge of our birth and death. From birth and death, it's all on his hand, in his hand. And so, as in my vows, I wish very much to benefit sentient beings. However, sentient beings do not realize my intention and are unable to find peace in either birth or death. Why is this? When human beings are about to deliver babies, whether boys or girls, they should do kind deeds to increase the benefits of the household, so that the earth deities will be immeasurably joyful and will protect the mother and child, so that they obtain great peace and happiness for the whole household. Yeah, now you know, right? So you need to very respectfully make offerings to Earth deity. Yeah, usually we say that's deity, Earth deity. Yeah. So after you have newborn babies, make sure you will not kill, you will not harm other beings. You can use other nutritions, but do not kill. Yeah, let alone doing a big feast and, drink alcohol, eat meat, sing and play instruments. Well, because these acts can disturb the peace and happiness of the mother and child from peace and happiness. Why? Because during the time of childbirth, there are countless evil ghosts, monsters, creatures, and spirits who want to consume the full blood. Early on, I have commanded the local earth spirits of that household to care and protect the mother and child so that they are peaceful and happy, thereby gaining benefits. So people in such households, they actually should cultivate merit in gratitude to the earth deity. But instead of doing so, if they kill, harm, and gather relatives for feasting, their violations will bring misfortune to themselves and harm the mother and child. For people who are on the verge of death, regardless whether they are good or evil, I wish to prevent these dying beings from falling into the evil realms. How much more can I do so when they have cultivated virtuous roots and thus increases my ability to help? So when a person, even so, when they have already performed virtuous deeds, is about to depart life, there too are hundreds of thousands of ghosts and spirits of evil realms who disguise themselves as his parents or other relatives in attempt to lead him into the evil realms. How much more is this the case for those who have committed evil acts? When a man or woman is on the verge of death, his consciousness is confused and dim. He's unable to distinguish between good and evil, even worse than being drunk. And his eyes and ears are unable to see and hear. So the relatives of this dying person should make great offerings, read Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, and chant the names of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Such merits and virtuous conditions can help the deceased one to avoid the evil realms. The demons, ghosts, and spirits will all withdraw and disperse. World honored one, all sentient beings who are nearing the time of death, if they are able to hear a Buddha's name, a Bodhisattva's name, or a sentence or verse from the Mahayana Sutras, I observe that these people will be quickly liberated from minor evil karma, with the exception of those who have committed the 5 heinous crimes of killing and harming that lead to incessant torments. And then the Buddha told the Ghost King of Life, wow, you're really compassionate, great compassionate. You're able to make such great vows and protect all beings amid their births and deaths. In the future, when men and women reach their time of birth and death, do not regress from your vows. Be sure to help all of them to be liberated and gain eternal peace and happiness. The Ghost King said to the Buddha, please do not be concerned. I will definitely do my best to support and protect sentient beings so that they can gain peace and happiness both at the time of birth and at the time of death. So I hope that they will sentient beings will believe and accept my words at the time of birth and death so that they will all be liberated and gain great benefits. At the time, the Buddha said to the Earth Store Bodhisattva, this great ghost king who presides over life has been a great ghost king for hundreds of thousands of lives. He has been supporting and protecting sentient beings amid their birth and death. It is only because of this Mahasattva's compassionate vows that he manifests in the form of a great ghost. In reality, he's not a ghost. After 170 eons, he will become a Buddha named Absence of Appearance Tathagata. his eon will be called peace and happiness, and his world would be named pure abode, Sudavasa. The lifespan of that Buddha will be incalculable eons, which means, forever. The name is Nirabhasa Tathagata. So Earth Store Bodhisattva, so conceivable are the matters about this great ghost king. He has also guided immeasurable heavenly beings and humans across to liberation. The 8th chapter is now complete. So thank you, Grandmaster. In this chapter, there's a new figure appear. That's King Yama. Grandmaster, could you introduce King Yama? What kind of being is he? Oh, King Yama will preside over life and death, and also fortune or misfortune, good or bad, your level, your prosperity. And if he's preside over birth, someone is going to be reborn. He will calculate according to his merits what kind of family he should be reborn into, what kind of good or bad fortune he should have. Say, for example, this person's merits are very few, then he would be reborn into a very poor and bad and weak or family, or into a war, or have disability. And another person, if it is very virtuous, then he would have great prosperity, maybe become a king or a queen or empress consort or a very wealthy person. So he is the great leader who has the biggest power among the 6 realms of samsara. So, Grandmaster, King Yama's question is also something that I actually have the confusion. Earth Store Bodhisattva works so hard to bring all sentient beings out of evil realms. How come they fall back again? How can we eternally and fundamentally clear all sentient beings' karma? Master, could you explain it and teach? Well, my master said, I'm also thinking. Buddha was answering too. So, all sentient beings, they're so self-attached. He used the word obstinate and adamant, right? So what is that? It's very hard to change, say, for example, someone likes smoking or drinking, and they say, oh no, I've already smoked for 30 years. On the cigarette box, it will say, oh, this will lead to illnesses like cancer. But those smokers, they look at it as if they didn't see. They still continue to smoke. They know, but they think, no, but I'm used to it. I cannot stop. And who will not die? Really will be like that? Really will cause cancer? Oh, that person got cancer because he's just had misfortune. Is it because of smoking? So they always want to take a chance. And another thing, like abusing alcohol and take drugs. And some 1,000 people like the arena nut. At the beginning, when I went to Taiwan and see some people doing labors, especially in the countryside, those Taiwanese, when after they move something, they will stop and then spit out some blood. I thought, oh my gosh, Taiwan people spit out blood. They must be so tired. But they say, no, don't worry. It's just something called arena nut. So they told me, and then I found, there are lots of booths and stores that they sell these arena nut, and they have different flavors. Even until now, I've never tasted what's the taste. And then in Taiwan, I know a doctor. He showed me some document. It's all because of eating arena nut. In their mouths, sometimes they have the throat cancer, and sometimes they're the jaw bones and teeth, they have to be extracted, and it's so serious. Their whole face is deformed, and then they have to have very serious operation. So this is very serious disease and harm. But sometimes, right after a big operation, they will continue to eat arena nut. What is this? This is just a habit. So that's why different people have different fate. Some people, they can accomplish something. They have, had very good education, become a PhD or professor. They have very good research result. And also because of good education, they found a good job and very easy for them to support the family. And some of them, they know that good education can help them to go to university, but they don't have the education, don't read. They know exercise can lose weight, but they don't exercise. They don't lose weight. If they work hard, they can get rich, but they want to be lazy. So they are always doing something opposite to that. And also I found, I teach everybody energy bagua, but say, for example, he has already learned from another fellow practitioner or learned some bagua martial arts outside. And so he got some martial arts of bagua, the knowledge. And then when I correct him, I said, oh, your hand is not right. You need to put it upright. So when I told him, he would put it upright. But when I turn my head next day, he's back again, like a spring bounced back. So this is just a small difference in the posture. I have to spend like 150 days to correct it, and that difficult. So this is self-attachment. It's like, oh, I've already learned it. Very difficult to correct. So they will be just like that. I know somebody, his father do real estate business, and he went to France to learn management. It should be 4 years of education, but he only learned 2 years. And, I don't need to learn. I know everything now. I think my father's way is too old and too foolish. He doesn't have any education. I have the modern management knowledge. Management, just like that. I know everything. When I go back, I will make a real estate company. I'll list the company in New York stock market. I'll make it even bigger. I'll do a real estate kingdom. I will build most advanced residential area. Every family will have the safety guard. Every family will have 2 elevators. Well, he had like, I will even grow, have some peacocks there. Oh my gosh, you can have some phoenix there maybe. I will also have a gourmet kingdom. Well, he has a lot of money, so he had a lot of dreams, delusions. And he said, I've already had the French cuisine, and plus our local cuisine. I'll have a Sino-France gourmet kingdom. I will also have automobile kingdom. I will do also the sports car race. Well, everybody likes sports, so we'll do a Sino-France marathon. Well, after he went back, he took 5 million RMB. First, he had food chain store, and he said, no, we don't want to be luxurious, just do McDonald's. That's simple. Yeah, I'll do one. So the first store opened, and then his father and son video called me and said, pretty good. The first day we had hundreds of people here. Well, if his father called them to come, who dared to not come, right? And then he said, but after that, he said, Sunday there were 4 people there, but Monday nobody. And he said, well, he called me and said, why normally on weekday nobody comes? Is it too expensive, I said, or too cheap? He said, not very expensive, only $20 US dollars a combo. $20 a combo. What do you give them? It's just like, those pancake with some meat and with some soup, something like this. So, okay. So who decide the price? The son. Who designed everything? The son. And, all the plates are silk plated, and all the cups are gold plated, and all the, the waitress and waiters are like French made uniforms. Oh my gosh. They use, like the son said, do big business. It's not depending on one day or one night. Well, even though this store doesn't make money, if I open 7 chain stores, probably I will make a lot of money. But what was the result? Every month he's losing like hundreds of thousands of RMB, and his father was completely furious. Oh my gosh. End with the failure. And then his son went to Wutai Mountain to saw a fortune teller. The fortune teller said, you're not suitable for dealing with food. And so I said, Dad, let me do real estate. I can change it into a real estate kingdom. Oh my gosh, if you have a kingdom, then you will subjugate the nation, definitely. His dad said, you're too young, whether it's Chinese or from other countries, when you can make the things right, that's the truth. And so what's the mistake of the sun? Arrogance. And in Buddhism, we call self-attachment. You think that you learn some management. You think that anybody who graduate from those schools will know how to manage and make money? Not necessarily. A lot of arrogant people, they are very self-attached and say, everything I say is right. I'm the best. I'm the most correct. Nobody dare to say me, right? And so he really underestimated his dad. He hasn't made money yet, but has already denied his father's merits. Well, you have never tried, never fighted. You haven't experienced all the difficulties, the poverties. You haven't experienced that. How can you have that motivation? How can you accomplish great things? This part is missing. In Taiwan, there's a Mr. Tsai, who's a very wealthy person. Now is like the richest person. A long time ago, his parents were the richest and left him a lot of inheritance. But he overestimated himself when he did his first business. Somebody harmed him, and he break the law and was put into prison. When he was in prison, he had to give out all the money that his father left for him. Inside the prison, every day he would smack his face, and after that, after he finally awakened, he would learn how to get fit and do exercise and buy books how to do business and how to be a good person to achieve something. After 7 years after he came out of the prison, he never dared to be arrogant, and he changed himself, become a new person. After 10 years, he became the richest person. And now the media always want to find him, to talk to him, put him on the newspaper, but he always refused. Now he's really low key, but all the Taiwanese knows that he's a super wealthy person. So after you have already experienced those difficulties and hardship, then you know the pain, right? When the whole world knows that you're a celebrity and everybody wants to be good friend with you, but after you come out of the prison, you found that you couldn't even borrow $1, and all the good friends, they will lower their head and as if they don't know you, and those people who owe you money and those who you help before, they pretend that they don't know you. So such kind of pain will make you think about, reconsider how to be. And so that's we talk about all sentient beings go to hell and then be released and go to the heaven, and from heaven fall to hell again. They forgot their failure. They forgot about the pain. Now they're good again. They chant and then they think, they make a lot of money. And then after they have money, a lot of enticement, and then they will do wrong things, right? So Grandmaster, why some people just did a tiny bit of virtuous deeds, but the ghost kings will respect him as if they are respecting Buddhas? Well, Grandmaster says, ordinary people, they're always self-centered and egoistic. Say, for example, I want good things to eat, good things to look, and good things to use, and smells good, or beautiful things, and big house, good car, a lot of money, good figure, good clothes, beautiful clothes, and a glorious title, or even just pretty glasses or expensive watch. So all of these, what are the values there? It's on, I want it, I like it, I have money to buy. When I wear it, it makes me look good. So this is all self-centered. So good food, I want to eat. So this is like all sentient beings' heart. It's always, I want it. Buddha told us, when you're always focusing on, I want, so this is egoistic. So this is a small self. Well, the good thing about small self is greed. But the harm is that you won't be liberated. You won't have accomplishment. You won't be able to do big myths. You won't become a great person, never, let alone a holy person. You will never be able to make big money. Even big money you have for a period of time, after that, in this life, you'll use all of them up. So a lot of super entrepreneurs, a lot of them at the beginning when they start the business, it's just for, oh, I need to make money so that I can survive. I need to support my child to have education, to have a good living environment. This is the intention at the beginning. But when they they start to have money and they also start to cultivate and they learn from people like me and some other Buddhist masters, and then they start to want to help sentient beings. You think entrepreneurs to help sentient beings? Yeah. I want everyone to be able to enjoy my product. I want the staff in my company, these employees, will be able to support their family. That entrepreneur Chuck Feeney, Mr. Chuck Feeney, who sells all the luxurious things in the tax-free, the duty-free stores on the airport. He always donate very low-key to many charities and over tens of billions of dollars. And Bill Gates, Mr. Bill Gates, and also Buffett, they also did a lot of charity. In Japan, there's a legendary entrepreneur, Inamori Kazuo. He made the company, he managed company so well and running so well, and then he divided all the shares and money to his employees. So when he learned the Buddha Dharma, he wanted to help all sentient beings. Japanese people is calling him like the god of business, and probably someone will even worship his picture. Really great. So we need to have that altruistic mind. The egoistic mind is too selfish. We need to have altruistic mind. I'm willing to give. I give. So this is altruistic. The more altruistic you are, you can do bigger things. And this altruistic mind also is down to earth. Starting from make a little bit of giving, and at the beginning you're like, I want. Even now, you make offerings is still for your own benefit, but still, this is a turning point. Before, I want. Now I give, even though there's a little bit of exchange and still some greed there. But at least you start to give. From the first time you give food to others, or maybe just give $1 to others. In the future, when you make money, maybe you donate $100 million and maybe help 100 million people. This is all possible. So this all comes from the first giving and the first offering. So this is the turning point for people's whole life. So Buddha said, I can achieve Buddhahood. All sentient beings, everyone can achieve Buddhahood. So from today on, you start to give to help sentient beings, starting from make offerings to me, right? And do a little bit of tiny good things. And tomorrow, you might be a Buddha. So that's why Ghost Kings immediately will protect me. Don't think that this person only donated one pancake or $1. Today, he's still very poor and still quite selfish and still a lot of defects. But after 10 years, 20 years, he already had the highest achievement. Maybe he's going to be such a great person. So Ghost Kings, they are like deities. They've already seen your future. And so today, he's respecting an ordinary person, but he saw the future you, which is a Buddha. In the sutra, it says, after you have the birth of a child, do not kill or harm sentient beings who offer fresh meat to the mother. Do not gather relatives and retinue to drink alcohol, eat meat, sing or play instrument, because these acts can disturb the peace and happiness of the mother and child. So what should we do would be better. So besides these meat, is there any other vegetarian food that can be nutritious to the new mother? Oh yeah, millet, congee, red dates, and soy drink, and sweet fermented rice. Okay, red dates. Yeah, don't look down upon these vegetarians. Actually, vegetarian food can be very nutritious. Ginseng is vegetarian, right? And there are so many food, vegetarian food, are very nutritious. Even just red dates is very nutritious. So you can Google online. A lot of vegetarian food, they can even be more powerful than meat. So as long as it's appropriate, you can maybe consult with some older people, like a granny. And Buddha said, don't kill because of this. You are very happy to have a new baby. This is a happy thing, but you kill. And you kill some lives to give nutrition to the new mother, to celebrate the childbirth. And this will bring the evil karma for the mother and the child. So after you hear this, you need to follow this to do. So, well, we really like those vegetarian weddings. In Taiwan, there are quite a few couples, Bodhi couples, who had the wedding in our Bodhi meditation center, and all the food are vegetarian. So because we get married, so our happiness and joy should not be built upon other sentient beings' pain and suffering, right? This is good. And so, actually, if the child has already been born, then you can make offerings, chant, and do light offerings and giving. A lot of sentient beings, because they're ignorant, so they made a lot of mistakes, and now you know it. You'd better tolerate and remind yourself not to make the same mistake. Yeah, so if after reading the sutra you still make the same mistake, you're too audacious, and don't do it. If you're afraid that you will make the same mistake again, okay, don't worry, just whenever you have time, read this sutra. And so when you have already done wrong thing, first of all, repent. I will not do it again. And say, for example, smoking, drinking alcohol, taking drugs, and other bad habits, if you need to change. And you will make a vow in front of Buddha. Don't say, oh, if I make it again, I'll cut my finger. Don't need to say that. You just tell yourself, this is wrong. This is a harm. This is offense. And so you need to have this self-discipline. This is a true hero. So in the sutra, sutra said, even kind people who has performed virtuous deeds is about to depart life. There too are hundreds of thousands of ghosts and deities of the evil realms who disguise themselves as the parents or other relatives in an attempt to lead them into the evil realm. So what should we do so we will not be enticed and lead to evil realms? After that, there's actually an explanation. You need to make offerings to Buddha, offer flowers, incense, and make offerings to the sutra, or chant Buddha's Bodhisattva's name. And yeah, so these all can help us to rescue ourselves, or allow the true Buddha's Bodhisattvas to manifest and guide you to the good place. Well, actually, for this question, I have thought very carefully. Someone, say, for example, on the verge of death, they are very sick and they have almost used up their energy. And without energy, your brain is not very good. You won't be able to see or hear, and then your brain is kind of chaos. So how can you have the pure mind to think? What is real, what is fake? You don't have the ability to distinguish. You don't have the energy. Then what can you do? It's all depending on your fortune and merits. This is the most important source. And secondly, when Buddha can truly manifest in front of it, it's because of your merit. And thirdly, what I know is because of the blessed gifts that your master bestowed you that can protect you, or your master's picture, whether you will bury in the earth or be cremated. So before you depart, you have your master's picture, Buddha's picture, and also the blessed gifts. That's why we also have some wooden Dharma gifts, those blessed gifts like the Buddhist beads and Vajra pesos and fur bars and even these Bodhisattvas pictures or pendants. You wear it, and these wooden ones will follow you whether you are cremated or buried under earth, and these are very conveniently to be always with you and protect you, so those evil ghosts or demons, they won't be able to come and harm you. I hope true Buddha's disciple, especially Bodhi disciple who learn from me, at the time when you leave the world, you won't see all these fake images. You will always see the true Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to guide you. Last time, I remember someone asked, when they die or their family members die, can they wear the Bodhi uniforms? Yeah, so one day when they're too sick and they need to leave the world, if you wear our clothes, definitely will bring you benefit. Buddha's Bodhisattva will recognize this. Any of our blessed gifts that you bring with you, I believe those evil ghosts and those demons will be afraid and dare not come. This is my wish and blessings. If you have invited our wooden, made of peach wood, these Vajra peso and fur bar, maybe one in your left hand, one in your right hand, and at the time of your completing your life, then or your family member, then you can tell them to put it in your hands, and then that would be great. When you have them in your hands, evil beings won't be able to come. And also, there are some questions from our online friends. I dream of my deceased relative in the scene of an ordinary day of life. After I wake up from the dream, do I need to chant for them or dedicate merits to them? This is a very good question if you dream of them and you want to do merits for them. So first of all, you are a filial child. This is very necessary because sometimes it's very difficult for you to read. Is it because that he has a need so that he came to your life? When these souls come to your dream, there's always a reason, has a need. So in this way, it's not very unlucky or inauspicious, and so this most likely is because of missing you. So when they miss you, I think that you do some merits. Why is that? Because if they always appear in your dream, you will have big calamities like serious disease. And someone also asked, he always dream of the deceased person lying with him. That's a big trouble, big trouble. You need to do big merits. Big things might happen, so need to be very careful. Thank you, Grandmaster. Grandmaster, there's another online friend said that his grandparents have passed away many years ago. One day he dreamed that he was in his paternal grandma's house, and the image of the 3 cents of the Western Pure Land were hanging on the wall. When his grandparents were alive, they did not have a belief, but they were righteous and kind. Is this a good dream? Grandmaster said, yes, this is very good. If they dreamed of the 3 cents of the Western land, it's very good. It's probably because of he has done a lot of merits, and he has already helped the grandparents to be guided to that place. And so this is showing him so that he can feel happy. So this is a good thing. Yeah. So Grandmaster, my father passed away a few years ago. After his passing, I offered lights at the center and did soul salvation at another temple. One day, I dreamed of my father. He was standing beside an apple tree full of big red apples. He asked me if it's okay to pick the apple. I said yes. Then my father smiled at me, and I woke up from the dream. Does it mean my father has been reborn? Oh, your family member, deceased family member, So the information that they're trying to send you is everything in a dream. A lot of them, they cannot directly tell you because they are already a soul, or maybe they're suffering in hell, or maybe they have already been reborn. These are all possible. So when he was trying to send you the information, very rarely he would use human words, but the scene is his language. You need to be able to read. So he was so this daughter, actually, she did made light offerings and released did soul salvation for his father, and his father was standing under the red apple tree. So this is good. This is peace and good. You know, it would be a peaceful rebirth. And red means good fortune and auspiciousness and prosperity. So congratulations that your father has been reborn and been reborn into a very auspicious and prosperous family. Another online friend said, my father has passed away for almost 3 years. A few months ago, my sister had a dream. In her dream, my father was lying in a monastery. He asked my sister to purify his body. After that, I offered light for a year at the center. I hope my father can receive the purification that he wished for. So Grandmaster said this dream is quite clear. He's lying in the monastery. This is good, but whether he has been relieved from the suffering, don't know. Secondly, he asked his sister to purify his body. This actually is asking the daughter to tell her sister, you need to do merits for the father. Purify the body means that his body has debt. Yeah, the karma is like the dirt on the body. You need to do merits to purify the body, to clear the karma, so that after clearing the karma, he'll be able to reborn at a good place. Otherwise, if the merit is not enough, then even the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas want to help him. If the merits are not enough, your children are not filial. And he also want to help that elder sister, elder daughter, so that he will be filial, and so the father can go to a good place. And the sister should listen to this and do merits for the father, be a filial daughter. And another online friend asked, I dreamed of my deceased mother. She was in a house, and two sides of the house does not have walls. She was standing and bathing beneath sunlight. It's similar to the sunlight at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So Grandmaster, what does this mean? So Grandmaster said, just from my gut feeling, my intuition, she hasn't been reborn. Maybe are still under. Yeah, so needs her family member to do merits. In the house, don't have the walls on the two sides. Lack of merits. You need merits to put the walls up so that it can be a complete house. So she's lack of these. Otherwise, she won't be able to reborn. But the sun at 2 p.m., which means the sun is still pretty hot. It's not too late. You still have time. Yeah. And another online friend said, oh, Grandmaster, I've dreamed of my paternal grandfather who has passed away. When he was alive, he injured his leg in a car accident. He couldn't walk for 10 years. When I dream of him, my consciousness knows that my grandpa has passed away and wonder if I really seeing him. He looked like my grandpa. As he slowly walked to me, I said, Grandpa, you can walk. He said, Then he looked at me, turned around and walked away. He was walking away. His body became smaller and smaller. He became a young boy and disappeared. So, Master, does this mean that my grandpa has been reborn? Yeah, looks like he's been reborn. An old man in your dream is turning into a young boy. It's very clear. He's being reborn into a family and become a young boy. If he looks happy, then it means that family is pretty happy and prosperous. This dream is pretty good. Quite a few online friends, they dream of their deceased family member take eating with them or having meal with them. What does it mean? This is not very good, especially on a holiday or their anniversary of their death. You need to burn those joss paper and offer food to them. So that's my opinion. And so, Grandmaster, what is a big offering? In the Sutra, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, and Ghost King said a few times about great offering, big offering. What is a big offering? So you remember what we mentioned, Earth Store Bodhisattva's previous life, the bright eyes. He sold all the things that she loves, and that's a big offering, right? Sell the house, and that's a big offering. Well, some people, they are very poor, they don't have much money, but they are very sincere, just like the poor lady who made the light offering, right? She only has $1, but she used all that $1 to make the light offering. This merit is very big, right? So Grandmaster said this is a ratio. If you have 1 million and you take 10,000, that's not big. And if you have 1 million and you took 300,000, it can be called a big offering. But in Bodhi meditation, we'd like you to look after your family life. I don't want you to contribute too much money that will affect your normal life. That we don't want to see. Okay, thank you, Grandmaster. So from learning this sutra, we will change and correct a lot of our mistakes and find our true direction of life. And a lot of bad things we will not do. Will not be too luxurious, exaggerate, or steal, or cheat. Will not lie, and we will not waste. And will not reach for what is beyond our grasp. And also, we will not be arrogant. And instead, we will learn to respect others. So in this sutra, the most important thing that we learn, if we don't do well, then we will fall into hell. Whether you have money or not today, it has nothing to do whether you will fall into hell. Maybe you're greed and then you got money, get wealthy, but then you'll go to hell because you don't have merits. Let alone if the money is cheated, then that will be even troublesome, more troublesome. And if you dreamed of you have illness or your family members have problems, it needs merits. If you're deceased ancestors are suffering in hell, can you have a good life in this life? I hope you will make merit so that you, your descendants, and your future will not be in the hell. So not in the hell means that you will go to a good human realm or heavenly realm or even the pure line. I hope that you can understand and will also do it and according to your promise.
Set your mind in the trajectories of heaven and join the conversation with Buddha, Earth Store Bodhisattva, and many other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Chapter 9. Chanting the names of Buddhas. At that time, Earth Store Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, World Honored One, now I would like to teach the sentient beings of the future how to obtain great liberation and great benefit in the suffering cycle of birth and death. Please allow me to speak on this. The Buddha told Earth Store Bodhisattva, you now wish to aspire kindness and compassion to rescue all sentient beings in the 6 realms of samsara and to expound on inconceivable matters of liberation. This is the right time. You should speak at once. Soon I will enter nirvana, and if you fulfill your vows early, I will not need to worry about all the sentient beings in the present and future. Earth Store Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, World Honored One, in the long, long past, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Boundless Bodhi Tathagata. Boundless Bodhi Tathagata. If there are people who hear this Buddha's name and develop reverence momentarily, they will transcend 40 aeons of severe punishments of life and birth. 40 aeons is an extremely long period of time. How much more so when they sculpt and paint this Buddha's image, make offerings, and sing his praises. These people will gain merits that is immeasurable and boundless. Moreover, many aeons ago in the past, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Jewel Nature Tathagata. If people hear this Buddha's name and immediately aspire to take refuge in this Buddha, these people will never regress on the self-cultivation road toward Buddhahood. When we make offerings to different Buddhas, we gain slightly different benefits. There's a predisposition. Alright, the sutra continues. Long, long ago, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Supreme Lotus Tathagata. Supreme Lotus Tathagata. If people who hear this Buddha's name will be reborn in heavens as many as 1,000 times, how much more so when they sincerely chant his name? Now everyone has heard a few Buddha's names. When we hear their names, we can gain immense benefits. Moreover, a long time ago, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Lion's Roar Tathagata. There may be people who hear this Buddha's name, immediately take refuge in this Buddha, and become dependent on him. Such people will receive blessings and predictions of their future Buddhahood from countless Buddhas. This is interesting. Countless Buddhas will bless these people and give them predictions of their future Buddhahood. This is very secret. It's a rare and precious blessing. Moreover, in the long distant past, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Krukachamda Buddha. If people hear this Buddha's name and sincerely pay reverence and sing praises, they will become great Brahma kings in the 1,000 Buddha assembly. Did you hear that? If you are sincere, you will become a great Brahma king in the 1,000 Buddha assembly. A Brahma king is a king of a very large heaven. Also, they will obtain superior wisdom. Moreover, a long time ago, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Vipassana Buddha. People who hear this Buddha's name will never fall into the evil realms. They will always be reborn among humans or heavenly beings and experience excellent wondrous joy. This is wonderful. Moreover, in the long distant past, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Jewel-born Tathagata. People who hear this Buddha's name will never fall into the evil realms and will frequently be reborn in the heavens and experience excellent, wondrous joy. Wonderful. Everyone has benefited again. Moreover, a long time ago, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Jewel Appearance Tathagata. If people hear this Buddha's name and develop reverence, they will soon achieve the attainment of an arhat. Arhat is the highest attainment through the cultivation of meditative concentration. This is a great achievement. Also, an arhat is not a Buddha, but he is another type of Buddha. This is a superior attainment. When you hear this name, when you hear the name of Jewel Appearance Tathagata, you will quickly achieve the attainment of our heart, because this Buddha has given us a great blessings and support. Let's continue. Moreover, in the long distant past, there was Buddha in the world. His name was Buddha's robe banner Tathagata. People who hear this Buddha's name will transcend 100 great aeons of punishments of births and deaths. Moreover, a long time ago, there was a Buddha in the world. His name was Great Penetration Mountain King Tathagata. People who hear this Buddha's name will meet countless Buddhas. The Buddhas will extensively expound dharma for them, and they will certainly attain Bodhi and Buddhahood. You must be happy to hear this. Usually, a person cannot simply achieve attainment or Buddhahood by their own self-cultivation. They depend on Buddha's blessings. It's easier when Buddha enlightens you. A super wealthy man can make you rich overnight. If he gives you half of his money, you'll be rich too. So it will be very fast when a Buddha makes you a Buddha. Moreover, in the past, there was Pure Moon Buddha, Mountain King Buddha, Wisdom Excellence Buddha, Pure Name Buddha, Wisdom Accomplished Buddha, Unsurpassed Buddha, Wonder Sound Buddha, Full Moon Buddha, and Moon Face Buddha. There were inexpressibly many Buddhas such as these. World Honored One, all sentient beings in the present and future, as long as they chant one Buddha's name, they will attain immeasurable merits and virtues. How much more so when they chant or hear many Buddhas' names? These sentient beings will gain great benefits during births and deaths, and they will never fall into the evil realms. The Buddha's wish is that no one will suffer, and everyone will become an enlightened and compassionate person. If a person is on the verge of death, and his family members, even just one of them, loudly chant a Buddha's name in behalf of the sick person, the dying person's karmic effects will be eliminated, with the exception of the 5 heinous crimes that leads to incessant torments. Everyone should know that the 5 heinous crimes are severe and grave, including murdering one's parents and monks, persecution of Buddhism, and etc. All the severe offenses can be eliminated except for these heinous crimes. In reality, many people have not committed the 5 heinous crimes in many past lives. The bad habits and manner offenses will be eliminated. Then the person won't fall into an evil realm. The 5 heinous crimes that are extremely severe, the offender will pass through millions of aeons without release. However, when the offender is dying and someone chants the names of Buddhas in the offender's behalf, even the incessant torments from such offenses can be gradually diminished or completely eliminated. How much more so when sentient beings chant and meditate for themselves? You should start chanting now. Don't wait until you're dying. If you chant in advance, you are helping yourself and cleansing your offenses. I want to remind everyone, your wrongdoings can only be eliminated with repentance. Don't make the same mistakes again. All sentient beings should chant for themselves ahead of time. When a person is on the verge of death, if their evil karma has already been eliminated, they will not fall into hell. At that time, when King Yama makes a judgment, you can directly be reborn into the heaven, the Triyastrimsa heaven. Isn't that great? We have completed chapter 9. In the section about Lion's Roar Tathagata, the sutra reads, if men and women hear this Buddha's name and in one thought take refuge in him, they will receive blessings and predictions of their future Buddhahood from countless Buddhas. There are 2 concepts here. Take refuge in one thought and receive blessings and predictions of future Buddhahood. What does it mean, Master? Can you explain in detail? We all have emotions. Say that you feel unhappy. In your mind, in your spirituality, the idea of I am not happy is a thought. Maybe you have learned my golden words. Many of our teenage students learned it. Recite the golden words in the morning. I am the most happy. I am most confident. Reciting loudly with the thought, you will be happy and confident. In one thought also means a sudden change of mind, suddenly realizing that your personal weakness came back again. Change of mind. What is mind? It is a single point in your consciousness. I want to explain one thought in general. At the instant that I see an image of Buddha, I become joyful, respectful, and I want to take refuge in Buddha. Take refuge refers to the sense of belonging and depending. Why is it depending? I rely on someone or something. When I don't have any strength, I want to find something to support my body. For example, it could be a wall, a tree, or a mountain. It's because I'm too weak, so I need a support. In our life, we often feel that we are incapable. We don't have enough energy or wisdom. Maybe I couldn't get through some troubles or problems, things that gives me a headache. So I want to find someone who gives me support. Maybe it's a deity, a Buddha, or an influential person. That person has to have the energy and power to give you support. Taking refuge is similar to the sense of belonging or depending. However, it is a higher state of mind. I depend on you. My mind, my spirituality and behavior depend on your teaching and guidance. This is a higher state of mind. We just need to have a general understanding for now. Take refuge in one thought. Some people want to put Buddha to the test and see if Buddha is truly capable. If you test Buddha for 30 years, it's already your time to meet King Yama. You don't have any time left to take refuge or cultivate yourself. There's not even an opportunity to learn and gain merits and virtues. That's when we hear a Buddha's name, see a Buddha's image, or encounter a good master. We should be respectful. Don't think this master is handsome and that master is beautiful. The sincere feeling of reverence and belonging that arises in a split second is called one thought, and take refuge in one thought. Sometimes, this is a karmic connection. When you meet someone for the first time, you know it. I like this person. This feeling is different from a romantic love. I like this person. I like to listen to them. Jujin says, Master, I think the concept of one concept also includes a focusing in one practice, not being half-hearted. So I'm wholeheartedly taking refuge in Buddha, in Master. Master says this is an important point. Once I met a person at our meditation center. I didn't know him, but he had a hint of Bodhi's energy. So I sat down with him and we talked about his health. I asked him if he had practiced any meditation before. He said that he's already my disciple. So I asked him whether he actually practiced. Then he said he only practiced for a few days before stopping. He had poor health and a lot of negative energy. He was very weak at the time. I said to him, "You don't look like my disciple. My disciples practice self-cultivation. Even if they have poor health, their health will be better than yours. You have been in this state for a long time. You haven't practiced anything at all." So after he became my disciple, he also learned many other schools of Buddhism. At the beginning, he had a practice to focus on, but in the end, he was distracted. This is not focusing in one practice or take refuge in one thought. He just wanted to become a disciple for benefits. Many benefits comes in the long term. The instant benefit cannot be observed by mundane eyes. First, taking refuge in oneself is a happy decision that was made in an instant. Secondly, it's not half-heartedness. It's wholehearted, sincere, and without reserve. Taking refuge, oneself, also has a meaning of no reserve, no faking, and absolute sincerity. Take refuge in Buddha and Bodhisattva with absolute sincerity. Next, receiving predictions of future Buddhahood. This is a very high achievement. In sutras, Buddha has mentioned it many times in different sutras. For a self-cultivator who is on the verge of success, if they receive this blessing from a Buddha, they will either attain Buddhahood or become a Bodhisattva. A third possibility is to become an Arhat. This is another excellent attainment. Buddha will only give a prediction to these three types of attainments. Giving a prediction indicates that a Buddha recognizes that you will attain Buddhahood, so the Buddha empowers you. Usually, we have the image of Buddha reaching out his hand and touching the crown of the person's head, especially when a Buddha is present in this world. Other people might have a vision of the Buddha giving you a prediction. In some Buddha scriptures, it's literally described as pouring in through the head. But when Buddha gives such an empowerment, he said, I don't need to pour in anything or any energy. When my divine eyes see your head, I have given you a prediction. The person who has received the prediction will see and hear it themselves. This is divine and cannot be understood by ordinary people. Many great masters have received such predictions. So have I. I received my prediction from Amitabha Buddha when I was young. I saw the Buddha's hand, but it's not a physical hand because Buddha's presence is beyond a physical life form. This blessing comes naturally and cannot be asked for. The predictions are not given to you because you are smart or wise. It's born out of pure sincerity. You have won the prediction from a Buddha. This prediction is not for good health. Even if you pass away in this life, you will definitely attain Buddhahood in the future. Also, in many Buddha's Dharma transmissions, there's something similar known as pouring in through the head, or a blessing on the head. For example, you are very sincere. You work labor for your master, do house chores, and attend to the master. You don't have time to sit in meditation, and you don't know the levels of meditation either. You don't even have time to read or understand sutras. You might only work house chores or on the farm. You might work a job to make money and provide a living for the master. That's an example. So in such cases, is this person cultivating? One day the master might say to this person, you can now expound Dharma and give blessings. Most people might respond, Master, I'm honored to be your disciple for 10 years, but I haven't read one page of sutra. I haven't meditated for one day. I've only been working around the house, but not cultivating. What can I teach? The master say, just do it. When you step on the stage, you will be able to teach. You won't even believe you're the one talking. You give a great teaching. This indicates that the master has blessed you with Buddha's wisdom. Even a master with smaller attainments like me can give a disciple blessings and empower them to give energy blessings too. Most people will respond, Master, will I be able to do it? I'm still unhealthy. I will say, yes, you can. Some people are not confident and they will ramble for an hour. I'd say, you're capable. Trust your master. Go and do it. They'll say, Master, I can't. Some might say, no way, I can't. It's impossible. I have a disciple who is a Tibetan ordained monk. He said that his previous master told him he will never achieve any attainments in this or future lifetimes. I told him if he studied with me, he will achieve in just a month. I said to him, it's not because how powerful I am, but because Buddha said everyone can become a Buddha. I can give a blessing, so I have already given that energy to you. He wondered, how did I do it? I said, once I didn't eat for 3 days, and you give me some food. That was many years ago. At that time, I hadn't eaten for 3 days and felt hungry. I wanted to have some white rice. At that time, he had only met me once. He was carrying his own lunch when he asked me, Master, are you hungry? I said, yes. Have you got me some food? He said, sure, I can give this to you. 2 days later, I met him again, and I thought he was a good person. At that time, he was not my disciple yet, but he was naturally sitting in a kneeling position in front of me. I looked into his past and saw he was my disciple. I said, it would be great if you could help sentient beings from now on. He asked how. I said, eliminate illness and disasters for them. He said, yes, I want to do that. But my master said, I wouldn't be able to do that in this or future lifetimes. He said, it's my fate to work hard labor. I said, your master is testing you. He had a master when he became ordained. He asked, you think I can do it? I said, yes, you can. Then I blessed him with my voice. I said, you can. I used this tone. But then he asked, am I able to do this because you said so? I said, yes, believe it or not. How do I do it? I said, if someone has a headache, just wave your hand and their pain will be gone. Just like that? I said, just have that on your mind. Really? He tried it with an elderly woman who had a chronic migraine for many years. He waved the air and asked, do you still feel pain? He was nervous and sweating. Still painful? After waving the air for 15 minutes, his mind calmed down and wished that the woman would not be painful. When he waved his hand with a relaxed mind, the woman said, wow, the pain's gone. So he tried it again on someone else, and it was effective. He came back and asked me, does this work for lower back pain? I said, go ahead and try. He tried it to get rid of lower back pain and succeeded. He asked me, wow, Master, what is your practice? I told him, I practice Buddha Dharma. Buddha Dharma, he said, but you haven't empowered me with a blessing on the head. I said, oh yeah, I forgot. He said, it even works when you didn't do it. I said, of course, it will be even more effective if I give you a blessing. Actually, I had already empowered him. But I reached out both of my hands and gave him another blessing. I vibrated my arms and asked him how he felt. He said, my spine is very comfortable. I empowered him with my energy, with all my energy, because we can't cheat others. He was an honest person. In his past life, he followed me and cultivated very well, so I gave him all my energy. He is now a renowned master with impressive powers. So this is the meaning of receiving blessings and predictions of their future Buddhahood. The blessing might not be given with hands specifically. I remember a painting of Amitabha Buddha. He reached out his hand like this. You know this is a gesture of blessing. But if you stood beneath the painting, the Buddha is touching your head. It's the same if you had shoulder pain. It was named according to the gesture. So people who have received a prediction from Buddha has achieved the great supreme attainment and wisdom. I hope everyone has understood the sutra. When we make a little merit or virtue, we will receive great fortune in return. This is amazing. This is all we'll explain about this sutra today. See you next time.
耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵哈哈哈，为什么耶娑哈，唵 为什么耶梭哈？唵哈哈哈，为什么耶梭哈？唵哈哈哈，为什么耶梭哈？唵哈哈哈，为什么耶梭哈？唵哈哈哈，为什么耶梭哈？